Hello, hello, my lovely loves. Are you kicking lots of ass today? It's Tuesday. We're cruising right into our week, and I just hope it's going wonderfully for you. So, I'm a life coach, if you didn't know, and I pop in here every Tuesday with your weekly TIT, which is my cute little acronym for Try It Tuesday. And I will share with you some kind of tool that you can use and try. I encourage you to go out and use it and try it. And extra credit bonus points if you post about your experience in the comments. That'd be amazing. Um, so we can all learn together and see what's working, what's not, what scares you, what's amazing. All these things that I suggest are things that I use on my own brain and try in my own life with great results. So I'm your guinea pig, and if it makes it to a tit, if it makes it to a Try It Tuesday, it means it's got my 2 thumbs up, and I use it and highly recommend that you as well. Let's see. I wanted to check in and see if there were any announcements first. No, I think I'm just going to dive right in. So the theme, I've decided to go with the theme. I have worked with themes before, but now I'm gearing the tits to that as well. So August, we're working with overwhelm. Raise your hand figuratively or in real life if you want to. Even though I can't see you, I'll feel it. If you've ever experienced overwhelm, if you're human, you probably have. And I don't know about y'all, but it doesn't feel great. I don't like it. I don't like thinking it. I don't like feeling it. So imagine my great relief when I learned from having a coach of my own that overwhelm is a feeling that we create in our minds based on what we're thinking about our lives. So this is wonderful news because if I'm making this shit up in my own brain, basically that means that I can stop doing that and think better thoughts. That's at the root of the coaching that I do, which is like understanding how our thoughts create our feelings, which create our actions, which create our results. And overwhelm is a feeling. It can be a belief too. If you believe you're overwhelmed, it can cause a lot of anxiety. But that's all fueled by our thinking. And so, what I love to do, why I have coaches, why I coach, is so that we can look at our minds, get in there, see what's causing the disturbance, and start to change it. So, this Try It Tuesday is about overwhelm, and specifically, it's about when you find yourself in comparison mode, which I did just this morning. I spend a lot of time online. Meeting you, making offers, sharing about my coaching, spending time in my private Facebook group. It's for women and it's called Two-Footed Ass Kickers. And if you want to spend more time with me and my amazing people, we have a great community and we'd love to have you. So check that out. But anyways, I'm online a lot and that's kind of new for me, especially since I've gone all in on my business and especially in COVID-19. The meeting people and sharing what I have to offer is happening online mostly. And so I see people out there and I see their highlight reels and I start comparing them to my low points and thinking these things that are, I have all these thoughts that cause suffering. Thoughts like, everyone's doing better than I am. She's smarter than me. She's prettier than me. They're more successful than me. They've figured it out. Today's trigger was finding someone who has like a really similar sort of aesthetic and vibe, and she has a group as well. And I was seeing how she has more people in her group, and she's like me, but doing it better. She's doing what I'm trying to do, but better. So these are all these judgments I'm having against myself based on someone who I don't even know. And I'm just making all these assumptions because I'm already prone to like beating up on myself and whatever. It's the human experience. Our brains love to pull this shit. So I was struggling with it and I was coaching myself around it. And my amazing boyfriend, I kind of told him what I was working on and what I was going through. And he shared with me this thought that gave me tingles all throughout my body. And that's a really good litmus test for me to know if a thought is a new, improved thought that I want to practice on purpose. So I've said before, I'm not someone that thinks you should just pick a random positive thought and just try thinking that instead. That can actually be harmful. So what you want to do is find, once you've identified the thought that's not helping, like she's better than me, you want to find a thought that's just a little bit better than that. And you can test it in your body by seeing if you feel relief or just a little bit less angry or a little bit less scared. So when my boyfriend shared this thought with me, I got all these tingles like, that thought is brilliant. I've never thought that before. It feels so good. So your Try It Tuesday today is to think this thought when you're falling into comparison. I want to share it with all of you because I thought it was just so good and it just worked wonders. It changed my day around almost instantly. So the thought is, I was saying like everyone's doing better than me. That was the thought I was having that was causing physical pain in my body and all kinds of despair and discouragement, right? And he just says, what if most people are doing worse than you? He's like, I think most people are doing worse than you. And I was like, say more about that. But that feels amazing so far. And he was like, well, so I'm in recovery. I'm in the 12-step program. It's been amazing. I'm a totally transformed person. I've been 6+ years sober, and I was totally low bottom drunk and an addict for 16+ years. So he's like, most people are just out there making stuff and they have no program and their egos are running the show and they're just trying stuff, but they don't have a spiritual practice and they don't have a thing. He's like, you're actively trying to become a better person every day. And that shows in the work that you do. And right there, that sets you apart from other people. And I was like, that's interesting. It was helpful to have a different perspective, right? Like when my brain was in that compare and despair mode, it was just certain that everybody is better than me. And I'm not saying like try this thought on to be like, oh no, I'm better than them, actually. It's not like that at all. And that's not what my boyfriend was saying. But it can have value to just kind of, it's like this mantra that I practiced when I first got sober, which was it was about becoming right sized and understanding that I'm no better than anyone, but I'm no worse than anyone either. And yes, on a lot of levels, I do have a lot of practices and intentions and values that can set me apart from others. And so while I'm looking up, like finding people in my circle that I admire and that inspire me, and it looks like they're doing better than me, I've got to remember there's also people that aren't where I'm at, that aren't doing it in the way that I can do it, that aren't bringing the love and the intention and the service to it that I can bring. And I thought about how, if I think about how, what if a lot of people are doing worse than me? I think this works on a lot of different levels. So the other really important level is that some people aren't even trying. So I'm out there sweating like, oh, she's so much better than me. But some people haven't even gotten the courage to start doing this kind of shit with the videos and starting their own business and starting a coaching practice. So right there, it's like, all right, at least I fucking am trying, right? That's huge. And if there's anything in your life that you're comparing yourself about, just give yourself some credit for being out there and trying. There are millions of people who will never get even that far. So that already sets you light years apart. The other level is that we make radical assumptions when we think that someone's doing better than us on all levels. Like I said, we see their highlight reels and we compare it to our everyday life. So just because someone looks more successful online doesn't mean that they actually are. It doesn't mean that they have healthy relationships. It doesn't mean that they're addiction free. It doesn't mean that they're happy with themselves. We have no idea what's going on. And so I invite you to bring a lot of compassion for yourself when you're feeling low, but also for other people who you're just imagining have this spectacular life, and they are human and they have very real struggles and sorrows as well. And I think it's unfair to just put people on a pedestal and imagine that they're perfect, and then we kind of like envy them from afar. Everyone's just doing the best they can, and they might be presenting this really great facade, but they have their own pain and struggle underneath that, and it's good to remember that as well. And then I think it's important too to take a moment, if you're really in self-pity around comparison and feeling like you're less than, find stuff to be grateful for. This kind of goes along with assuming that people have their own struggles and remembering that. But just if you're really down on yourself because like, oh, I don't have enough followers, or I don't look a certain way, or I don't have enough money in my bank. Remember, like however little money you have and whatever problem you're making that, please remember that there's someone that has even less than you right now. There's a lot of someones that have less than you. That you're able to watch this video on YouTube puts you in a wealth category that's beyond a lot of people in the world. So it can just help to have a reality check. Like if you're worried about your grocery bill for the next week, did you eat today? Some people haven't eaten yet today and they don't know if they will. So maybe you don't know where next week's stuff is coming from, but if you know you're going to eat today, that's something. And really all we have is today anyways. So focus on the gratitude. I know that can get cliche or trite, but it has been like the magic bullet that gets me back to the good kind of humility and feeling deep appreciation for what I have going for me right now. Because guess what? I'm of no value and I'm of no use to anyone when I'm just stuck in self-pity and when I'm thinking that I'm not as good as someone else, because that just makes me want to give up. And then I make it true that I'm not as good as someone else because I'm not even showing up now. So I just love seeing how this works and how our minds do create our results. And so when you catch yourself in compare and despair and self-pity and believing these lies that your brain is feeding you about how you're like less than someone, just really check that. And so use all the stuff I just shared in this video, but specifically practice the thought, what if a lot of people are doing worse than me? And again, frame that in a way. It felt amazing to me at the time. It was just exactly what I needed to hear. But make sure you're understanding that it doesn't mean that you're just like better than someone and you're looking for a way to feel superior to someone. It's just honoring what you've accomplished so far, being grateful for what you do have, and moving forward from that place of like, we're all in this together, and I'm just going to stay in my own lane and do the best that I can with what I have, and really trust that that's enough. We need what you have to offer, and comparing yourself to someone else just doesn't serve at all. You don't have all the facts. You don't know what they're going through. Just focus on you and what you can bring, and bringing 100% of yourself to the table. And I promise you that's going to be more than enough. So thanks for watching. And hey, if you want more, if this stuff is resonating with you, if you're liking these videos and you've decided that you would love to know more about coaching with me one-on-one, I've got you. And it's free to set up a consultation call where we can just hop on the phone or hop on a Zoom and talk about what you're looking for, where you're stuck, and how I can help you achieve any goal that you're working on in your life. Multiple goals even. What do you want? We can get it together. Set up a free consultation call. You can shoot me an email for an inquiry, or any questions you might have about me and coaching and all this. Send that email to kickasswithbothfeet@gmail.com. I would love to chat with you. And in the meantime, have a kick-ass week. And I'll be back Saturday to talk more about how to get out of overwhelm. All right, bye.